Good.
Welcome to the VET S.O.S. Veteran Entrepreneur Spotlight. Remember, don't drown the sea of transition. Grab the VET S.O.S. Lifeline. The Veteran Entrepreneur Spotlight is proud to be affiliated with the Neil Haley Show and sponsored by the SpearPoint Solutions. SpearPoint Solutions is a one-stop shop for leading-edge products, services, and training for multiple vendors. From AI training to corporate gifts and much more, they have everything you need to help your organization thrive in the modern economy. You can check out all their offerings at spearpointonline.com, and remember to use the code VETSOS on anything you purchase there to help continue our mission here at VET S.O.S. Today, I'm sitting down with someone the audience might recognize. We got Mark Elder with us, an expert networker who has volunteered in many organizations over 20 years. He is a U.S. Air Force veteran and the founder and president of ClearPath Wealth Strategies. For well over a decade, he's worked professionally in the financial services industry and is passionate about giving back to and making a difference in the community. The past 6 years have included a broad range of volunteering in the Who You Know Career Search Network, as well as being past president of various professional associated boards. And, he's the co-founder of VET S.O.S. So, Mark, how you doing today, brother?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Sean. Super excited to be here.
We are excited to have you here. It's always great when you and I get to connect and catch up. But let's go ahead and find out your transition story real quick. Give us the rundown of how your transition went out of the military.
Yeah, so probably a little bit different than most of the VET S.O.S. Guests and supporters. I wasn't a career military man. I went in, served for, and did my inactive reserve. But I'm adopted. So let me maybe backtrack a little bit. I'm adopted. I was born in Seoul, Korea. Adopted when I was 5 months old. Grew up in Northern Illinois. All of my family, is American. So I'm probably like, they call us bananas, right? Yellow on the outside, white on the inside. That's maybe the non-PC, right, version of my background. But when I was going into college, didn't really have my head screwed on straight. Wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. Had a couple buddies that were going into the Marines. I had looked at that road. My dad's best friend was a retired Air Force recruiter, got a hold of me and was like, no, you're going in the Air Force. So I was like, oh, okay. And so, hadn't really thought about the country patriotism and all that, but basically, took that jump and plunge. And through that experience, the 4 years in, just developed this sense of patriotism, right? And it really struck me. And why I'm going into all this is because, I feel like we're at an inflection point in the country, and maybe have been for years now, where patriotism and the love for our country is severely lacking. And so, I look at it as, and I tell people, look, I wasn't even born here, and I have served my country because I love my country. And so that's what got me in. Now, transitioning out, 4 and out, right? I was going to stay in, and I was working for a major general who actually went on to be the Surgeon General of the Air Force. And so maybe a little regret there that I didn't follow him in, because I had a buddy that did. But got out, my parents said, hey, you went in to get school paid for and all that. And so got out and started my journey, into the corporate world. Wasn't easy, right? Still, like a lot of folks who are transitioning out of the military, lots of, processes and jargon and just mentality that needs to change. And even going back to school, right, and getting my degree, a lot different experience because, I'm 4 years older than most college kids, and, just really, had that kind of a journey that was a lot different than I think most other, civilians have. So some transition difficulties there, just more mindset, I think, and mentality.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That age difference is no joke, even just 4 years, and the experience that happened in those 4 years is also quite a big deal. So what led you to want to be an entrepreneur?
Well, kind of fell into that, went into business, got a business degree. Sales and marketing has always been, really kind of my forte. And I find that, I enjoy it. I enjoy the flexibility and the control, as well as, just the relationships that you can build, right? Being out in front of people. So I have been told I'm a very gregarious person. Like to, just have people around and, hang out with folks and just have good conversations. So that's really kind of what led me into this space is, sales and business development is really entrepreneurial across the board. I mean, whether you're earning a salary or you're building your own business, right? It's all entrepreneurial, right? In nature. So that's really kind of what propelled me into it. Now, my current position that I've been at for the past, 13 years in financial services, my next door neighbor was a guy that worked at a company in the industry, and he was my advisor agent and everything. Um, and so he kept on bugging me about coming in and doing what he was doing. I was in tech sales at the time, and I was like, nah, I don't. I was a national sales, regional salesperson, professional, and had a territory that initially was west of the Mississippi. So huge territory. We kind of did the Jerry Maguire approach, less customers, more focus, and we narrowed it down to, the Southwest kind of Texas and surrounding area region. Writing came on the wall. Microsoft and Google came into our space doing what we were doing for free. And so I said, yeah, maybe I'll have a conversation and, jump ship, made the transition to this industry in the financial services industry and never looked back.
Nice. So what's been the best and worst part about being an entrepreneur?
Well, the best part, I think, for almost everybody is the autonomy, right? You really get to make all the decisions. You get to set your own goals, create your own vision and watch that, come to life or fruition. Lots of fulfillment, right? You get a lot of fulfillment in building and creating something that you're passionate about, right? Because you have to be passionate about this. You have to be all in this entrepreneurial environment, or else you're just gonna sink, right? You're not gonna swim. Whether it's maybe what your product is, or maybe the services that you provide, or the people that you help. That's really what drives me, I think, and that's really what makes me passionate about that. Some of the other perks, I guess, would be most people who are working a day job in the rat race, getting a paycheck. I mean, that's great. That's the majority of Americans. But you want to raise, right? What do you got to do? You got to have your KPIs in order. You got to, have the relationships. You got to, have your work product, right, be there. For me, right, as an entrepreneur, I want to raise. I just go out and I produce more. So it's very easy to, gain or lose. But that also, to the other side of your question, is one of the pitfalls, right? The stress of being the business owner, the stress of it all riding on your shoulders, the stress of not having a guaranteed paycheck. Those are very significant hills to climb. And so, you just got to wake up every day. And, one of the things that I've heard in this industry is you wake up unemployed every day, right? In sales and in marketing, you're unemployed every morning. You got to go out and get hired every morning. So that's, again, maybe one of the difficulties too.
I have never heard that, but that is absolutely amazing. That is a great way to approach the day, especially as an entrepreneur, because I mean, what drive is that? You're like, I'm unemployed. I gotta go find a job. Man, I love that. We might have to steal that saying and incorporate.
Yeah, it's not mine. It's not mine. So, yeah, let's perpetuate that. Yeah, for sure.
So have you used any programs to help you build your business? Any, because there's plenty of veteran ones, but I'm sure there's some civilian ones as well. So have you used any programs to help you build your business?
We have. So my business partner and I, we've got the support of a Fortune 100 company. So our broker dealer is a Fortune 100 company. So there's a lot of ancillary support, training, resources there. I was also very heavily involved with the Illinois Veterans Association and Texas Workforce Commission, now down here in Dallas, has been great. I really didn't, and again, kind of different than a lot of maybe your other guests and viewers, I didn't really have a lot of resources, my own fault, that I tapped into, like the veteran service organizations. I don't even think like Military One Source was around at the time. 4 Block and Vets to Industry and all that, all these other programs that are out there, they just weren't available. So, when I got out, I went down to the local VA office, right? And they got the VA standard, kit of career transition booklets and resources, and went through that program. But that was pretty much it. Now, granted, I was going back to school, right? So that in and of itself made it a little easier, right? There was a track and a program already in place, and I went to Illinois State University, so lots of fairly large university. It wasn't like a private college or anything, so lots of veteran resources, and they had ROTC program and veterans all over the place or on campus. So.
Outstanding. All right, so tell us about ClearPath Wealth Strategies. What are you doing, and how can people seek out your services?
Yeah, so ClearPath Wealth Strategies is our company that we have created in the financial services space. We help people protect and grow the things that matter to the most, right? Namely, their family and their finances. We have a focus on career transition, and that really has been the catalyst of what helped us start the Who You Know show, right? And subsequently VET S.O.S. So, and thank you to you, Sean, for taking charge on that, and really kind of it's your brainchild. So, this is a phenomenal resource. But what we do is we provide assistance to folks who need help in their financial journey, because a career transition is also what? It's a financial transition, right? And so people aren't getting the help that they need. They're not getting the training that they need. That stems from the household, right? Parents and I talk to tons of people who are like, yeah, my parents never talked to me about money, right? And then on into school, right? Yeah, you're required to take a business class, but they, really don't teach you anything other than maybe even simple budgeting and checkbook balance. Like when I went through high school, it was like, here's how you balance your checkbook, right? And then, if you go into college, obviously, if you're not in a finance degree or college, you're not going to get any of that, right? So Americans are just severely lacking, and we're not a socialist country, so it's not like it's done for us, which is great, right? It gives us the opportunity to make it what we want. But, at the same time, I think that's where the lack is. And so that's where we're trying to make an impact in how we help people, is helping people achieve their financial goals, right? Keep their cash flow intact by helping them with their career transition, and just wrapping it into one big package.
Very nice and much needed, like you said. So what's the best place the audience can connect with you?
Yeah, so LinkedIn, obviously, very heavy on LinkedIn. We also have our ClearPath Wealth Strategies Who You Know show. You can contact us through that on all the social media channels. You can email me at mark@cpwstrategies.com. Feel free to shoot me an email. That's a great way to connect with me as well. So just super passionate about helping people. If you have questions or folks that are in career transition, send them our way. We can help.
Absolutely. And I highly recommend you. You guys have been really instrumental, not only in my transition, but in, helping us build this and making it into what it is right now, and just been great friends and mentors along the way. So I totally indebted to you and gracious for all the mentorship you guys have provided, and looking forward to seeing where it all goes. But As always, Mark, I want to thank you for being on the show today. And on behalf of the entire VET S.O.S family, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. And remember, you can check us out on all your favorite podcast platforms, social media platforms, YouTube. We're everywhere. You can find us everywhere. Make sure you follow us, subscribe to us so you don't miss anything. And as always, remember, don't drown the sea of transition. Grab the VET S.O.S Lifeline.